zzz, zzz. Can't you just hear the electricity coming off the page at the cover of this gorgeous Storm Alan Davis cover? Storm #1, the new miniseries by Nocenti, Sid Kotian, and Richard Dahlhaus. Anyway, that is what we are looking at today. So subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Hit that like button and let's get right into it. I am not going to lie. I am such a huge fan of Alan Davis, but his version of Storm is not my favorite. Like, if we're going to do like a retro Mohawk Storm miniseries, like, I would much rather see like Paul Smith do the cover or Art Adams, or who else draws a great Mohawk Storm? Pretty much Art Adams, like, is my favorite, right? But hey, I'll take Alan Davis. Why not? I mean, can we get an Excalibur nostalgia book? I love these nostalgia series. The Extreme X-Men by Chris Claremont and Salvador Larroca, I just wrapped that. And then I covered Gambit, I believe. And Sid Kotian, the artist on Gambit, is back for the Storm Blowback Part 1 Wind Rider and Nocenti writer. If you're a longtime fan of the X-Men, you recognize Ann Nocenti's name. She was an editor on the X-Men during really great periods for them. I believe like when John Romita Jr. was on, perhaps. And then, of course, she wrote Daredevil and created Longshot. And so I was really, really excited because I really love her writing. And I have to say, this is a little crazy. Andrew Dalhouse, colorist. So I guess this is like a throwback, blowback, part 1 Wind Rider. I guess this is like an examination of Storm sort of losing her mind. You know, Storm is one of the greatest triumphs of Chris Claremont, and I think that's what kind of puts a shadow over this to begin with. It's like, and like in my mind, Storm is like Chris Claremont's version. Like, nobody else can hold a candle. Nobody wrote her correctly. Nobody wrote her like he does. And this is definitely evidence of that. She is like acting way off character for me. As much as I like Sid Kotian's art on the Gambit series, I think it looks a little cartoonish and a little rushed. It's like this is the first image we're getting of, you know, the Brotherhood of Evil Mutants in Storm, and we got a lot of like silhouettes, and then like this shot doesn't really pay off that much for a reveal. It's like I want big, like, exciting art, you know what I mean? I don't want shadows. Like, it's very dark. Storm's skin is colored very dark. Her features are muddied out a lot. That said, I mean, he is a decent artist, but it just looks rushed, especially compared to like what we saw before on Gambit. So I don't know, but like I said, like, it is so much fun to like on in theory to like revisit this period, but sometimes it just doesn't read well. Like, I don't know. I think the whole point of this series is sort of to explore, you know, like Storm's sort of like, what do you call it? Disconnect with nature, and Xavier took her out of Africa. No pun intended. Meryl Streep took her out of Africa, and you know, she sort of lost touch with her homeland, and you know, she lost touch with nature and felt disconnected. But then again, like, she was sort of living this false life as a goddess too, and sort of needed to find herself. So, it did make her a very well-rounded character. But I think that like Chris Claremont cleared everything up, like the whole tension with Kitty and everything in that great issue 181, 181, where she's like flying with Kitty in the sky, and she's like, "Look, bitch, I am who I am. If I want a freaking mohawk, your 14-year ass, old ass isn't gonna like tell me what to do, because God knows you're gonna become a ninja and like a freaking Coyote Ugly bar dancer and stuff. So she who is without, I don't know, 50 aliases has the first stone." But I don't know. It's just kind of funny, like, because then she's like, "Chuck, tell me I'm crazy," but he already did that. That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't know. It's just kind of weird to me. If you know the history, like, maybe I'm too close to the source material. Like, if if I were to divorce myself from the original source material, to be honest with you, then I would have zero interest in this whatsoever. So, I don't know. Like, what's the point of this? Is basically maybe where I'm going. It would be, I don't know. I feel like Chris Claremont should have wrote it. I don't know. You know, Kitty or Storm's acting like a bitch. Kitty's acting like an asshole. You know, like I hate when the characters you love are just like largely unlikable, and then they're just like sort of playing up like, oh, you're a leather chick now, and like suddenly, wait for it, here it comes. Oh my god, I've tearing this book apart, but I'm so disappointed. I wanted it to be so much more. So then she has this weird experience underwater, and she thinks it's nature just being like, hey, you can't control us, so we're gonna get back at you. And then what else happens? I don't know. Like, it's just kind of all over the place. Then she staggers out of the ocean. But then they're kind of like, like, where's her swagger go? Like, I don't know. They're just rude to her. Like, it just feels disrespectful. This doesn't read like the X-Men. Like, I don't know. It's just very antagonistic towards each other. And I'm not sliving for it, is what I'm saying. Um, and then we have this. And then I don't know, it just seems like contradictory and sort of uncharacteristic. And, you know, she's like, I don't hate you, we just have to get used to you. And when she straight up said she hated her before because of, you know, she's an evil mutant. So I don't know. Just not ringing true for me. And then, so suddenly Storm has a motorcycle and knows how to ride it because she has a mohawk and wears leather. So that makes sense, right? Yeah. Okay. And then she meets up with this guy who just so happens to be there for some sort of, I don't know, clean air summit, which of course means something to Storm. So, you know, we get to tie in this sort of like, I don't know, I feel like Nocenti kind of does that with her, uh, like, wasn't there a lot of that in Daredevil? Like, maybe, I don't know, something about, like, wasn't there a garbage strike or something in one of her storylines? I don't know. There's some sort of like, socio-political aspects to her writing, which is fine. You know what I mean? Because, like I said, like I loved her Daredevil. Do not get me wrong. But then, so Kitty and Rogue go out, and Rogue gets drunk, and then Kitty gets tattoos, and then some braids, and then she's like, you didn't ask me if you could get tattoos. They're identifying marks. Those make you a target. Really? I mean, it's like, so nobody knows your Storm? Okay. I'm sorry. Anyway, just, you know how it is sometimes. And hello, Cassandra Nova. This is like the most evil looking panel. I love it because Xavier is, face it, low key evil. Even though there's nothing low key about it. You know, he's just straight up evil. And so I like to see him looking appropriately evil sometimes. Um, Back to like a little critique of the art. You know, I do see potential, and like I said, I did like his work in Gambit, but I don't know. Um, the storytelling's good. It's nice. It's not the worst art I've ever seen, but I just think it could be better. I just like Storm so much, especially Mohawk Storm, and I think she should look beautiful and just exotic and just like at least pretty. And then dun dun dun, cliffhanger, and another Alan Davis cover. See what I mean? Like, I need my art, Adams, Mohawk Storm. Tell me, who's your favorite artist who draws Storm? John Byrne, obviously, but I don't think he's like ever drawn Mohawk Storm. Maybe like once or something. Like maybe, I don't know. It's a joke. I don't know. Anyway, guys, so what do you think? Did you read Storm? Is it good? Do you love it? Am I crazy? Am I being too hard on it? I'm just nostalgic and I wanted more. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Hit that like button and I'll bring you more later.